I'm upset by it, Mark. I'm upset by it. And I realize I can easily dismiss this as like, what? But I saw Erica Kirk. And when I talked to Erica last week, she was so strong. She was so composed. But in 30 minutes together, 20 minutes together, she literally never stopped having tears come out of her eyes. Like at no point did the tears stop flowing. She was able to talk and express herself beautifully, but she is literally in constant pain. And I have her permission to share that this is one of the things we talked about. She did not ask me to come and publish it. I've been thinking about it ever since, and I asked her for permission, and I received it. And she also wanted me to emphasize the second part of what I said, which is that they had gotten to the point of realizing that the devil had no power over Charlie, that these witches had no power over Charlie. But obviously for Christians, for deep believing Christians, this kind of thing actually really can rattle your cage. And to me, it stood out that it was one of the things still on her mind, you know, that in the days after Charlie had died. It's fucking vile. It's just, we've crossed some decency bridge that we didn't used to cross. And even now hearing this, I have zero hope that Jezebel or Etsy actually will apologize to Erica Kirk, because they really are missing that fundamental human decency. Your thoughts on it?
Well, since Jezebel has been around, they've made their living off of a lack of fundamental human decency. And you and I, throughout our careers, have railed against such things. But this is different, right? This is different. This is the real world. And I think it's of a piece with what you hear from some in even the quote unquote respectable media and from some Democrats who treat this like the assassination of such a beautiful man as just another thing to write about and make fun of. And these people who make their lives writing, and I'd say the same thing about some of the media writers who are so irresponsible, with a coarseness and a lack of appreciation for the real lives of real people who participate on the national town square, and for that get condemned to mockery, cancellation, threats. It's if anything comes out of this, it's good. This would be a good one for these places to be shut down, not through boycott, not through government censorship, but through the market speaking. That in the United States of America, we just don't want this level of coarseness about such a tragedy and in everyday life. People shouldn't be subjected to this, regardless of whether they're assassinated or not.
The nerve of them saying they took down this piece about their casting spells on Charlie to protect their writers, because they were worried about violence from Charlie's supporters against them. We've seen this repeatedly, you know, that the left now, of course, refusing to acknowledge the political leanings of the actual shooter, of trying to both sides it, of trying to pretend that the MAGA wing is violent when here we are, 13 days after Charlie was killed, and there's been no right-wing violence in response to an assassination of one of their most important figures. Nothing. It's a narrative that gets pushed by the left about MAGA in particular. It too is vile.
I wish everybody in the country could have been in Arizona to experience the level of love and warmth and tolerance that existed throughout that, most specifically and in sharpest relief embodied by Erica Kirk. But to take assassination and for her to forgive the alleged killer and for people to meet hate with love sets a great example. And these places on the internet, on social media, that make their livings from hate, they'll have to just use this opportunity, I hope in this case and in general, to recognize that this isn't the way to make a living. There's just no sense in making a living this way. It's not good for your soul, and I hope it's not good for your business long term of people who make their living like this.
What did you make of the memorial, Mark? Because you all day, in the lead up to the actual beginning of the ceremony, and then once the ceremony began, we were listening to Christian music. You had people with their arms up, as Christians will do in a revivalist sense, to the music. Already that's being spun as Nazi salutes already. on X. It's so predictable. Christians, when they hear music preaching the gospel or, with Christ's word, will often put one or both hands up like that. You're touching God. You're sending your positive feelings and reactions to what you're hearing up to those singing the words on stage. This has been going on since I was a child. I don't remember a time when we weren't doing this. And already we have people on X. It's the Nazi salute was at Charlie Kirk's memorial, and just ignoring what is happening in the moment, like the beauty that was in that arena.
It was beautiful and uplifting and consistent. And although there were some remarks that were a little bit political, I watched closely, and this is how I've made my living in my life, is being able to read a crowd, being able to get a sense of the mood of the crowd. And the most enthusiastic, intense, and loud moments were when people talked about Charlie's relationship with Jesus and the importance of faith and understanding. This was an event unlike anything else I've ever covered, and in its scale and its spirit, and that is both not a coincidence, and it's something that the people who are still eager to express public hostility to Charlie Kirk, they should try to read into, they should try to understand, they should try to respect.
In particular, we heard Erica Kirk trying to appeal to the young men of this country. Same group Charlie tried to appeal to. And Charlie, told me more than once, that was his base constituency, that young men in America were the ones liking the Charlie Kirk videos, showing up for the most part at his campus revivals. There were women too, but he understood his core constituency was young men. And he loved to he used to say, young women present an opportunity, as they say to you now at your children's parent-teacher meetings. There's never this is a problem. It's an opportunity that we can work on. So he say young women present an opportunity. But Erica Kirk doubled down on that. This is what she said on Sunday at his memorial, SOT 3.
To all the men watching around the world, accept Charlie's challenge and embrace true manhood. Be strong and courageous for your families. Love your wives and lead them. Love your children and protect them. Be the spiritual head of your home. But please be a leader worth following. Your wife is not your servant. Your wife is not your employee. Your wife is not your slave. She is your helper. You are not rivals. You are one flesh working together for the glory of God.
Mark, what did you make of her remarks there and in general at the memorial, appealing to young men and also to the reaction we've seen from young men? I mean, black, white, brown, across X in the past 2 weeks, openly declaring, I am a conservative. I am a conservative. I never realized it. I've seen so many young black men post, I had no idea. I always thought I was a Democrat. I was told you have to vote Democrat. I'm black, we vote Democrat. So that's what I did. And now listening to these Charlie Kirk videos, I realize I'm not a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative, and I'm registering accordingly.
Well, first of all, what strength and moral clarity from her. Just as I said, I've never seen an event like that. I've never seen a public presentation like that. And that's not even accounting for the circumstances. We've all been struck by the same notion that how could she possibly have done that? And part of it was, again, her strength and inner strength and her faith, but also the partnership she had with Charlie. And of course, the irony of the fact that he was apparently killed by a young man of the very type that he was so concerned about, someone who, through social media and messed up things in our society, had moved to a place that could allow him to do something so monstrous. I think that I'm not sure the impact this will have on the movement, the Turning Point movement, the MAGA movement more broadly, and the efforts to reach young men. But I think anyone who rules out that this is going to be more than a turning point, more than a watershed, this could be something that sweeps up tens of millions of people in politics, in their real lives, in reclamation of the broken system that's left us with so many young men who don't live lives the way life should be lived, lack purpose, lack moral clarity, lack respect for others, including and especially women. I think it could have that effect. It's going to require more than's been done so far. But her words, I think, will ring through history because of their clarity, their intellectual clarity and their moral clarity, and because of the circumstances under which they were delivered.
Yes. And she's got the thing Charlie had, which is she makes you want to be a better person.
Yeah.
I mean, she makes you want to be a better person. She appeals to your better angels, and it's very attractive. It's like it's a magnetic force that she has. So I think, notwithstanding the fact that Erica's a woman, Charlie was a man, she can lead this organization and appeal to exactly the same people. And then some. I mean, she's actually an extra threat because she really will appeal to young women who haven't seen that much of her. She was with Charlie a lot on the trail. I saw her myself behind the scenes at a Turning Point event when we first met. But I mean, now she's front and center, and she provides a whole new opportunity, truly, for those young women. Here is just a little sampling of what I've been seeing all over X. Watch.
Charlie Kirk got shot in the fucking neck. That was the last bastion. I can't be a liberal no fucking more. You see the fucking comments? I hope the gun is okay. The same fucking people asking for moral decency. I cannot in good faith align myself with you guys anymore.
My name is John. I have practically no online presence. And the reason for that is because I am scared to post things that I believe. Yesterday, a man died. Presumably because he believed the same things that I believe in. I am a conservative, and more importantly, I'm a Christian. I know that in the grand scheme of things, I don't really matter. No one knows or even cares who I am. But if there's even one person who sees this and gains the courage to speak up themselves, that's why I'm making this. Just so that everybody knows that we're not alone.
So I have officially left the Democratic Party a few days ago. The reason I did it was because I cannot be linked and affiliated with a party that has members in it that would do exactly what happened to Charlie Kirk.
I didn't know Charlie Kirk, never met that guy before in my life. And something else that I've never done before in my life is believe in God.
It feels to me, Mark, like there is a sea change underfoot that we are not going to realize the full extent of perhaps until the midterms. I mean, I just can't imagine this doesn't have electoral consequences. When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Well, it would be. Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold. So they created something special. And through September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is going to offer you a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit just right now. Text MK to the number 989898, plus Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into one in gold. And you're still eligible for a rebate and free metals of up to $10,000. Make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate of up to $10,000 when you buy by September 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and get your free info kit now. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.